In Irvine, day 5 of Rams training camp with the Los Angeles Times. This is Gary Klein. I'm Lindsey Thiry. And no, Yasiel Puig is not in Irvine, but Dylan Hernandez certainly is. We'll get to you in a minute, Dylan. You hold tight. Gary, let's start off where we always usually start these days. Jared Goff. You know, they weren't in pads today. I don't think it was quite as impressive of a day for Goff. He hit 4 defensive backs, a linebacker in the hands. Those could be interceptions one of these days.
Yeah, he looked very, very good yesterday in full pads practice. Well, at times looked very, very good. Also made some mistakes. But today, it just seemed like most of the team, I think the day after pads, it just didn't seem quite as intense.
They wanted to go in pads again today. Jeff Fisher said no back-to-back days in pads. Kind of the pads hangover is what it looked like. Dylan, no Yasiel Puig. He's long gone, or maybe he's still here in LA. That seems to be determined. But Jared Goff, he's the Rams' #1 pick. It was your first time getting a look at him. What are your thoughts?
He looked like a young, promising player, I thought. You see the ball come out of his hand. It looks different than when the other guys throw it. You see, even for a guy his size, he moves pretty well. That said, I think we saw a couple times where maybe he held on to the ball a little bit too long. Maybe some of the placement of the passes were exactly where he wanted them to be. But, you do kind of see that there is going to be a bit of an adjustment period. It's not going to just happen overnight. And the question, obviously, I think that everybody has on their mind is, can he get everything straightened out before opening day?
A couple of guys Goff is going against, Case Keenum going against them as well. Over at cornerback, opposite of Trumaine Johnson, it's one of the few position battles at camp. Gary, I know you spoke with Jeff Fisher about the cornerbacks. Who does he kind of see standing out for that second role?
Well, there's a couple guys rotating in, and the fact is they're all going to play just because of the number of the defensive backs that the Rams use on defense. But it looks like LaMarcus Joyner has been getting a lot of the reps so far. E.J. Gaines, who played the position, started 15 games a couple of years ago. He's coming off a foot injury, but I wouldn't be surprised if ultimately he ends up as the guy. And then they've got Cody Sensabaugh, who they picked up as a free agent from Tennessee, who's also working in that group, and I'm sure we'll see him play as well.
Several of the players continue to comment about fan attendance at training camp practices. Of course, a big turnout on Saturday, which was the opening day, but now it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, and they still have a pretty good turnout. Dylan, what do you think coming out here, seeing the fans? You think Los Angeles is ready to embrace the NFL?
Yeah, this is a pretty cool setup that they have here, I think. There's a lot of space. Obviously, this is a really nice campus. Seems like a pretty family-friendly atmosphere. With football, you never know, right? People could be getting drunk and beating each other up. I wasn't quite sure what.
We're not quite to game time yet, Dylan. This is preseason form still.
This is also Los Angeles, so I guess we're in Orange County technically, so maybe that's it. But it was just kind of a nice, if this is the type of place I think you wouldn't hesitate to bring your kids out to. It's a nice atmosphere. Obviously, the fact that it is LA, you kind of saw some of that today, and Kendrick Lamar was out here. I think some of the players were probably kind of excited about that. Gary, what's your favorite?
Give it. Gary Klein is the one who recognized Kendrick Lamar. Do you know why? He's in a video with Taylor Swift. All right, it's Todd Gurley's birthday. They're celebrating in the background. For us, well, that's the end of day 5. Next time we see you will be from the Coliseum for Family Day Rams training camp with Gary Klein and Dylan Hernandez, hoping Yasiel Puig's out there somewhere safely. I'm Lindsey Thiry for the Los Angeles Times.